Hey guys, so as you can see, I'm back playing Minecraft. I took a little break between when 1.17 came out and waited for 1.18. I saw some early screenshots of the caves and cliffs and stuff and really just couldn't wait for that. So when they split it into two updates, I was a little bummed out, but I just put it on pause for a bit and took a break from the game so I would enjoy 1.18 to the fullest extent that I could. So far, really loving the new cave systems, the cliffs, the world generation. It's all just so good. Like, it delivered on everything it promised, and I couldn't be more happy. But that being said, let's get into this little progress video. Still really early game, but this is the location for my starter base. I wandered for a few thousand blocks and found this just shattered mountainscape cliff face. Like, generation like this is impossible in older versions. I'm already on Y80. Like, that's, I think, Y164 or something like that. It's high up there, and it's insane being able to play with the new block height and depth limits and stuff. It's really cool. So don't need to blather on for too long. But so let's get started. Up there is my squid farm. I really love building with black concrete. I use it quite a lot, so I go through a lot of ink sacks. So squid farm, necessary. It's really simple design. I don't know if I came up with it or if it's one just rattling around in the noggin from hours of watching YouTube and doing whatever, but basically just magma blocks with 5 high water on top, so anything that spawns in the water is pulled down, damaged by the magma blocks, and then I have a rail system picking them up underneath and depositing them into a chest on the side. Reason it's built up so high is because I wanted to eliminate surface spawns, but they changed some spawning mechanics in 1.18 for fish, and it doesn't spawn fish up there anymore. I've looked into it a little bit, and it seems like it only actually spawns on ocean levels. Y157 to 64, I believe, or something like that. So, unfortunately, no fish, no bone meal, but I'll get to that later, and my needs for those are pretty small right now. So, let's get on to the base portion of this. Um, right here is my iron farm. I've been working on it yesterday and a little bit today. It's based off Silent Whisper's iron farm design, just really simple, effective, it works, but I've had to modify it a little bit because I couldn't get the 1x2 area for the villagers to work out super well. I had to spread them out and they all got loose and I had to gather them up, and working with villagers is a headache. But we do it because it's necessary. So it's not producing a lot right now. It's about 9 stacks of iron blocks overnight, which it's okay for an iron farm. It's not great. I could definitely optimize it further, but early game, don't really need much more than that. Eventually, I'll probably have a chunk-oriented quad iron farm, possibly double stacked as well, because I use a lot of iron. So that's the iron farm. What's over here is what I was just working on before I started this, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I really love birchwood in Minecraft. It's my favorite wood to work with, partially just because birch trees are my favorite trees in the real world. I love them. They're just beautiful, the bark and how useful they are in the real world. Like, just the bark is hundreds of uses just for birch bark. And the wood itself, in my area, it's about the hardest wood that we have naturally growing, so I use a lot of birchwood in the real world, and Minecraft did a really good job with the textures for birchwood on the outside, and I really like the wood, so I transplanted a bit of a forest from over that direction somewhere. Past the jungle while looking for a starter base spot, so I grabbed some bamboo for scaffolding eventually. And that's just kind of my natural area I have over there. It's my resource stockpile that I haven't quite harvested yet. Sugarcane all around for a little bit of sort of fence aesthetic, but also because I'm saving up sugarcane for when I eventually get elytra. Over here is my honeycomb setup so far. I've never worked with bees before. I've never had to work with bees before. There's never really been a good enough reason to in my mind. I just kind of, you know, ran around, pissed them off, hid from them in water. a little cartoon, but now I have an excuse to because with the new copper blocks, waxing them in the state that they should be in is a really good reason to get into beekeeping. So it's also helpful to have my iron farm producing so many poppies because I can keep breeding these guys up and adding new hives. And I don't know exactly how the spawn mechanics work for bees, really, so I'm just mostly flying by the seat of my pants, but sometimes that's fun. And right now, that's all I need for the amount of copper I'm using. Here is my starter base. There's this nice naturally generated cave system here. I don't know what type of cave this would be in the generation, but I love this hollow mountain. And so I put my base right on the inside. Right now it's more lit up than I eventually will have it. I want to play around with light levels a lot because of the new spawning mechanics for mobs. It used to be any light level above 7 mobs couldn't spawn, but now that's been reduced to any light level 1 or more. So as long as it's any part of a torch is touching a block, mobs can't spawn there. And so I'll play around with lighting, keep it nice and moody and cave-like, more cave-like than it is right now. I'm currently in peaceful mode just because I like switching the game to peaceful mode every now and again whenever I'm doing videos or different tasks that mobs are just getting annoying. I'll swap it to peaceful just because that's how I play. Not everybody likes to swap their game from hard or easy to peaceful and back, but I don't like to limit myself too much, and I really enjoy playing in peaceful mode sometimes. So don't have to carry food. It's nice. Um, so this is my base currently right now. It's pretty bare bones. Just, furnace array, storage. Got my valuables over here. Linked up a nether portal, and I'll go into the nether and tell you how much trial and tribulation I went through to actually get this portal set up to where it is. So for some reason, anytime I made a portal, it always linked to something down there below the lava lake, like Y14, 13, something like that. And I just couldn't figure out how to make it work. So what I ended up doing was, how did you get here? What I ended up doing was traveling in the overworld a few hundred blocks and creating a new portal. Managed to get onto some land and traded gold with piglins to get a fire resistance potion. And then when my portal linked to something down there, I just dug straight up and swam through the lava with a fire res and came to shore and built my portal where I actually want it to be. This is how I'm currently getting out. This opens up a ton back there into a Crimson Forest and Nether Waste as well as the Soul Sand Valley, so everything that I could ever want is there other than a fortress. I haven't looked around too much for a fortress yet, but just wandering around checking stuff out, I found like 4 or 5 bastions. So thanks, Bedrock Edition. I want a strong fortress, but all you're giving me is bastions. So if that isn't Bedrock, I don't know what is. So I have down here a lever. You might notice lever down when leaving home. That's because this is an XP farm. So down underneath my base here, I've built just a little XP farm. This is a 0-tick XP farm. Right now it's a little bit broken. The kelp broke, so I gotta replant that. I must have left it on when I unloaded the chunks, but that's why I have the sign on the lever, so hopefully I don't do that. Basically it works by 0-ticking this block right here, and that updates the kelp, which causes it to usually grow on every tick. And then pistons will break off what grows, gets fed into hoppers, which then get eventually fed into smokers. And once they are smoked, I'm going to turn that off, it's loud. Once the kelp is smoked into just dried kelp, I will craft it into kelp blocks and then feed them back in. So essentially it's just infinitely looping kelp back and forth. So I will go into the XP part of it. I haven't actually used it in a while, but all the XP is stored up in these chests since I'm not removing anything manually. So when I flick these levers and unlock the hoppers, it allows kelp to flow through, and when I take that out, I get XP. So level 57, level 59, 61, you get the idea. It's got a lot of XP stored up, and that'll instantly heal my tools once I have mending on them. Or just give me XP for enchanting, which I should probably show that. one of these secret waterfalls takes me up to this sort of secondary cave system up here, where I've just built a really simple enchanting setup. I haven't done much decorating yet, just getting it bare bones and working so that I can have Fortune 3. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I've got. I guess I can show you what I was just working on right now, which is a villager trading station. So I want to get mending, I want to get just a ton of emeralds, so lots of toolsmiths and selling them my iron from the iron farm next door. Uh, right now I don't have many of the villagers linked up to trades because I just don't need it yet, but they're linked up to beds and I will work on that going forward, just nicely finished. But got the iron trades for these 3 toolsmiths, so already working on getting emeralds. And eventually I'll have some farmers for golden carrots. All the toolsmiths will give me some nice diamond tools. And hopefully that'll be most of what I need right there. But we'll see. I plan on making this a second layer. Not tonight, it's getting late. But eventually I want this to be 2 layers tall. You'll notice the beds down there. That's not permanent. I really hope that's not permanent. I am lazy, so it might be permanent. But just I designed the outside of this before I started working on internals, and I didn't realize that I'd be left with a 1 wide pathway. So not quite ideal, but I'll figure out a solution to that. But for now, good enough. And that's where I'm at with my world. Honestly, it's not a ton, it's not much, but I'm pretty happy with the progress I'm making and playing around with the new features, but not just rushing like I normally do, not getting elytra right away, just enjoying the game in its early stages, in its infancy. So thanks for joining me here, Blacksmith Gaming, checking in and providing a little progress update. I hope to make some more videos like this, just kind of updates. I don't know if anybody's interested in a Let's Play series, actually seeing me make any of this stuff. It's not the most interesting to watch somebody play Minecraft, but hopefully a 10, 12, 15-minute video is something digestible for you guys and something enjoyable to kind of see what I'm up to. This has been Kobe with Blacksmith Gaming, and I really appreciate you guys checking in. So have a great night, and cheers. Thanks.